Go. What is your name?
Rene Canlas. Ano yung sabi mo? Professional background?
Yeah.
So, I finished the Navy, US Navy, retire. Tapos nag-nurse ako dito as an LVN. Okay, let's go back. Nag-graduate ako sa Philippines as a BSN. Tapos naging RN ako doon. I worked for 1 year in there until I got recruited in the Navy. So, Navy, then dito, LVN. I did pass the RN kasi I practiced like 10 years later, nangalawang na yung utak ko eh. But I worked for 6 years as a nurse. And then, at the same time, I was doing part-time real estate. Nag-flip ako ng mga bahay. Yung sinasabi ko sa'yo, that's the guy who taught me. So I buy and sell, I hold yung mga single family homes, I hold them. And then I was able to make a lot of money. Nag-quadruple yung mga halaga nila eh. So, naging real estate investor ako. And then I started this business. So, naging businessman, right? I run my own business. And we're still doing good. So, bali, yun ang career ko. Ano pa, EJ?
Yun lang po. How would you define leadership?
As how you lead your people. Now that I am in the civilian world, in the military is how you lead your troops or your people also. The way everything is geared towards your goal or the mission of your unit. Okay, so there are several types of leadership. Yung, as far as I know, there's like 4 or 5. Me, I'm more of a I take the opinions of my people. Say we have a problem, right? And I am the supervisor. I am the leader. I have somebody else ahead of us, but I'm entitled to have a meeting with my people. And if the solution involves our customers, okay, in this case, in my situation in the past, I was leading enlisted personnel. Enlisted personnel ako. I was the LPO. I started as an LPO, which is the equivalent of a supervisor. Yung LPO sa Navy, which you are trying to get into, is LPO, leading petty officer. So you could be one kapag E5 ka, E6, E7, and so forth, pataas. So that's the leadership. That's what I did. I get their opinion. Finally, I'll make a decision based sa mga input nila. I can overrun their decisions if I think they're not good, but I will explain why. Okay? That's the leadership that I practiced while I was on the military. Here, it's not so much because I still, on our first 5 years, I was doing it sort of like the same style. I will hold a monthly meeting. I will have an employee of the month. Okay, that's a motivational type of leadership to show your troops that you appreciate them. Kapag naging employee of the month sila, meron silang, I give him 150. In the military, that's very normal. You don't give him the money, you give him the award. So it's all papers, a letter of recognition in writing na sasabihin sailor of the month. So that's being voted upon. So it's all democratic. Kung sino yung magiging yung maseselect, there's a board that convenes na galing sa mga ibang departments, right? And they have certain category, parang contest ba? Who excels in pinakamasipag? Who's most athletic? Who is good in leadership? May mga kategorya yun. Okay, second question.
What are 3 characteristics of a leader?
Of a leader. Sa akin, number 1 is integrity. Ano? And you have to have your... So integrity, if you look it up, it's whatever you say, you will do it. Okay? You stick to that principle. You have to have that principle all the time. You can't be wishy-washy. So when I say, okay, it's time to clean up, everybody's cleaning up. You don't play favorites. Okay? And then number 2 is you have to be supportive. Yung mga tauhan mo, may kanya-kanya silang problema. So, some may need you in some aspects of their life. Part yun ng pagka-leader mo. A good example is, I was already LCPO. So from LPO, tumaas ang rango ko, right? Naging happy ako, so it's leading chief petty officer. I have a guy that came in from school, straight from school. At walang pera. Can't afford the food. May isang anak. Kata-transfer lang. So, it was my job. Meron akong 2 supervisor that are both lieutenant that would just tell you, hey, so-and-so, is he settled? Pag dumating siya, it's my job. Doon sa particular na job na yon is to make sure na meron siyang housing. And then, he talked to me about not having money. I said, you just got transferred. What happened? They ran into trouble from their transfer. Nasira yung kwan nila, yung rent U-Haul rent. So I was put in a place where sometimes, even though it's not proper, binigyan ko sila ng whatever I had at that time. I didn't have much then. I gave him like 100 whatever that I had left. I took him to the, meron tinatawag na sa military, a food pantry sa base na yon. Food pantry simply is parang church yun eh. So it's actually a church na yung mga tao, may mga advertisement if you want to donate your canned goods, your extra whatever, dadalhin mo doon. So, kino-collect nila yung mga canned goods or whatever it is, pumunta kami ron. Kumuha kami ng pagkain. So, I have to, this is too personal, but still, it's part of leadership to me. So, at that time, I had to help him within that month. That's all I could do financially, because if I have $1,000, I'll probably have given him that much. Pero, pag nasa military ka, nobody has a lot of money. Okay, so, but I had to give him with no one. I said, these are for you. These are coming from me. Yun. So, that's a situation where you need to go beyond your call of duty. It wasn't really my job, but no, I felt like under ko siya eh. Nasa direct supervision ko siya eh. At that time, I was ang specialty ko, pharmacy. So, at that time, I have several departments. 5 ata. One is pharmacy. Lahat yun, pag may nag-check-in na bago, I make sure that, are you okay? Then, magtatapat naman sila eh. Sasabihin nila yung problema, we don't have food. I said, what? May baby sila, walang gatas. So, yung $100, it make a big difference. Okay? So, yung tatlong quality inihingi mo. So, pangatlo will be just so integrity. You have to actually support your troops. At saka yun, you have to have your it's almost similar as integrity. So, ano pa? Yung principle, you have to have those are two different things. You have to have your own principle. So, kapag sinabi ng boss mo, this is what we're gonna do, but you think it's wrong, are you gonna follow that? I'll fight it. So when you go do that, so in other words, you have to have your own principle na naka-align sa mission nyo, naka-align sa ginagawa nyo. Okay? Ayun na yun.
What is a typical day like for you?
Typical day, this is when I was back then or yung ngayon?
Right now.
Right now? Oh, I love to help and still, so we're running a little grocery store, yung business natin. I want to get into mayroon kaming kanya-kanyang job description, okay? So yung mga managers, they do their own. Ako parang nag-oversee lang. But I still help as far as doing the little jobs. Yung kumukuha ng mga gamit natin that hindi na di-deliver. And you see me. So, mostly, yung daily activity ko is ako yung taga-takbo to make the deposits, sa mga kuha natin, cash. And then, paperworks. This little store has a lot of paperwork that needs to be completed, updated on a regular basis. So we pay taxes, right? We pay sales taxes. Ang ginagawa ko ngayon, today, for example, I had to go fill out that business property statement. So I went to the assessor's office to get the copy. So there are things that we need to meet on a regular basis. Sometimes they're annually, but may mga deadline yon. It so happened today, that's what I did. And then ordering. Sa akin yung mga ordering. So mostly it's done online. So we need the new poofer sa bakery. I did that online. So I'm just waiting for it. And then your dad, nangangailangan ng mga yung buffer natin for cleaning the floor. I need pads. So I had to go to Vallejo because there was a janitorial store doon to see if I can get them locally. Nagsara na pala because I go there like every 6 months. It's shut down. So I have to go online again tomorrow to order that. That's a typical day for me. So administrative, a little bit of lifting of whatever we need, right? Then I come up here and see if everything is okay. But because we have the cell phone, we communicate a lot. May tanong si Robin, I would just text or answer the phone. That's it. It's an easy everyday thing for me. Mostly paperwork. Yun ang napapansin ko. So taxes due. So I called the CPA. Kailangan natin na yung tax natin for this store. We file taxes and it's due April 15 also. Okay. Ano pa?
Who do you go for advice? Who do you get advice from, or who is your mentor?
Okay. Who said ano yan? What was the last question?
Who is your mentor?
Oh, mentor. Okay. I got a lot. When I was starting out, yung boss ko, yung pinakauna, I didn't have good bosses in the beginning, yung mga supervisors mo, you look up to who take care of you. The first guy that when I first got in the service, so I was the very low ranking, so I do the dirty jobs, right? His name is Bosun's mate, BM1 Brooks. He's so good that he loved me for what I do because napakasipag ko eh. He tells me, okay, we're mopping and sweeping and painting the deck ng barko. That's what I do, but I do more. In other words, yung mga kasama ko, there's a lot of us on that division. Nagtatago lang. So there's 6 of us assigned to do the floor. We were gonna prep it for painting. Mawawala yung 3. And then he will see that. He goes, we're so and so. And then of course you're not gonna want them to get in trouble. So I don't know. I think he went to the head. Head is you cover for them. It's the bathroom. So BM1 Brooks, I still remember him. Hopefully he's still alive. So E6 siya ang LPO. Okay, remember that term. You're gonna encounter that. Ako, E2. Just got out of the training. Now it's my second station, yung barko. The other mentor that I had is when I went up in ranks. I did all kinds of jobs. Sometimes you need to volunteer on things that basta na lang yung trabaho, magpa-pop out. Somebody is transferring for some reason. Yung pamilya niya, yung asawa niya, nagkasakit. So now they have to transfer to a hospital. Ang military is so big na from sa job description ko, I work several naval hospitals. So, pag may sakit yung pamilya, they will try to transfer you no matter what sa isang lugar na nandoon ang care. Big hospitals, right? So, this job opened up. It's called career counseling. That's a big job. Career counseling is mag-i-school ka. I don't know how long, for 6 months, but I took it on the spot with no experience. Sumabit lang ako doon sa, mayroon siyang assistant. Sumabit ako, so I learned on the job training. But if you want to get promoted, if you want to get ahead of the pack, you do something that is hard to do without you hesitating. I just took it. And then I did that for like 2 command 6 years. I did that for 6 years. Parang another job, even though I have a full-time job. Okay? And that guy's name is naging kapitan Captain Richard Fletcher Jr. Yung mga iba, they're not prejudiced. Puti yun. Yung unang sinabi sa'yo, yung BM1 Brooks, itim. But this guy was a lieutenant commander. Yung lieutenant commander is 04. Nung mag-retire na ako, we spoke again, naging 06. Yung captain sa Navy is equivalent to a colonel in the Army, in the Air Force. So mataas na yun. So the guy is very good, but I cannot be an officer. But I look upon, because he appreciate my work as a career counselor. In return, palagi kang may reward. Yung rewards na sinasabi sa'yo, Sailor of the Month, Sailor of the Quarter, Sailor of the Year. I did that too. I made Sailor of the Year. It's so hard to get. Parang Employee of the Year. Sa military, they call it Sailor of the Year, or pag Army siguro Army of the Year. So they select out of you yung pinaka the best. That's so hard to get. And then later on in my life, nung nag-retire na ako, this guy named sa real estate. Because you have to find ways to make a better living, right? His name is, I read his book. Meron siyang libro sa real estate. His name is Carlton Sheets. Carlton Sheets. Sheets. Hopefully he's still alive. He's very old, but I read his books. I ate it. Alam mo ibig sabihin? I read it so much that I mastered it, but I used two principles out of that. So, yun. Other mentors, I don't remember anymore. Yun lang. Yung tatlong yun that helped me with my work, right? Promotion. Yung isa, yung the last one, he was on TV. This is like 20 years ago. Then, but you have to buy his book. So in 1994 ata, binili ko yon. 1994, it cost mahal eh. 275. In 1994, 275 is a lot of money. So I bought it. And maraming principle doon to buy a house, right? With no money down. This is true. But there are like 45 ways to buy a house with no money down. Dalawa lang nag-apply. And I used those two and it worked for me. It worked. Okay, so next question.
What do you enjoy most in your career?
When I was in the military, that molded me into a better person. Because I didn't know anything about leading people. I didn't know anything about tuturuan ka sa training. They teach you unity so that all of you function as one, right? But pag tapos na kayo, kanya-kanya na kayo, kanya-kanya. So there are people that would just do their 4 years if they signed up for 4 years. Me, I made it. I finished it. So I think the military mold made me a better person. You know, I was able to, kasi yung trabaho ko is mostly customer service, right? We have patients. Yung trabaho ko, 3 hospitals, several clinics. Yung mga hospital na yun kasi mayroong mga branch clinic. So, you are assigned, nagro-rotate kayo. 2 shifts. Yun ang mahirap. But, every place is different from the other. But what you learn is just, will make you. Maraming rules. There are so many rules that magsasawa ka sa rules, but those rules are meant to be there para walang gulo. So if you follow them, it makes you a better person. You know, hindi ka matotrouble. So I think the military is the one that made me as a good person, a better person. Then, paglabas mo, when you're done and you're on your second career, you can use that. Yung learning what I have learned, I was able to apply it. Okay. Ano pa?
What immediately comes to mind when you hear the word success?
What immediately comes to mind? That you have obtained all your goals, na met mo lahat yung goals mo. One thing that I did to myself, kasi we go into a lot of schools. Sa military, they'll send you to several schools. Required yun eh. Leadership school, pumasa ka lang na promote ka lang, meron na namang school for that. They teach you sexual harassment, all kinds of, kung yung nakikita mo sa civilian, there's a lot more na mga schools or meetings. Every day you have a meeting. Every day meron kayong master. It's called a daily master. So you just babasahin nyo yung plan of the day nyo. It's so organized. It is very organized. So I used to write my goals, and then this I learned nung before na mag-retire ako, 5 years before. In order for me to succeed in life, I thought, pag nag-retire ako, yung retirement pay ko is not even enough to pay my mortgage. Meron na akong bahay nun eh. So I have to come up with an idea. Then I started real estate. And then I learned from that book, it says you have to write your goals. So kung sinulat mo yung goals mo 10 for that year, right? At the end of the year na meet mo yung or you were able to accomplish 6. That's really good because yung dati hindi man ako nagsusulat ng goals eh. So ang halimbawa ng goal, halimbawa is lalagay ko doon, it could be anything. Would like to buy 3 houses at the end of 1996. Way back 1996, nagsusulat na ako ng goals ko eh. And then, nakabili ka ng 2. That's a good result. Kung hindi ko sinulat yon, so I follow it through. Pag sinulat mo yung isang goal, halimbawa, even if it says, I would like to have $100,000 at the end of the year. That's a very hard goal. Paano mo gagawin yon? I'm only making 3,000 sa military. But if nakapag-save ako, kahit na sinulat ko $100,000, I didn't actually write that one. But nung later on in life, I was writing, I would like to have $1 million in the bank. That's a serious goal, huh? And at the end of that year, this came later. You were able to meet that. Kasi pag sinulat mo yung goal, gusto niya yung libro, which is Carlton Sheets. Titignan mo yon every day. So nasa mesa ko o nasa kung saan mo nakikita every day to remind yourself na kailangan trabahuin mo yung goals mo. So, it could be as simple as yung task for that day. Pero mga hard goals ang sinusulat ko. I don't do that anymore. But, yun. One thing that maybe I can teach you is to write your goals. Ilagay mo sa cellphone mo. Look at them every day. And then try to accomplish. Magsulat ka ng 3 goals. Very simple. See if you can attain them. Mayroon kang goals but you need to put a deadline. Yung siguro end of the year kailangan yun ang deadline mo. See if you can reach those goals. So that's how na medyo nakuha ko eh. So i-repeat mo yung question, EJ?
What immediately comes to mind when
When
you
it
hear?
comes to success.
Yeah.
What have you reached? Sa akin, it connects to yung goals ko. I write my goals. So kung ano yung gusto mo, you don't have to write them, pero sa akin, it work. If I write them, and then I look at them, not every day, but I see kung nasaan na ako. A good example, yung sinabi ko sa'yo, I want to have, liliitin natin, $10,000 at the end of the month, or at the end of the year. Yun, madaling i-reach yun, because you can have 2 jobs, right? For a whole year. Yung timeline mo is until the end of the year. So that's very possible. What if, let's make it big. Sabihin mo, I want to finish my degree, nag-aaral ka ngayon, in 3.5 years. That's very possible. Di ba? Ang degree normally is 4 years, but you can take summer, and get it done in 3.5 years. Okay? That's it.
What is your advice for young aspiring leaders?
Oh, okay. Just magkuwang ka rin. You need to have a mentor. Depende sa gusto mong gawin, EJ. So, mentors are there to be followed. You may not be talking to them kasi they don't even know na mine-mentor mo sila, that you're trying to be them, right? But yun nga, a good example is binili ko yung libro niya. It cost me 300 something yun eh. Ang mahal, but I bought it because I really wanted to do what he was doing. So find a good mentor for what you want to do. Okay? He may be selling books. Basahin mo yung ginawa niya. Why did he go why was he able to do this? If you can even talk to them personally, right? You make friends with them. Kung malaking tao, of course, it's impossible. You want to be, let's say, I don't know what you want to be. Sabi mo, you want to be a politician, so you need to copy somebody else that are doing what you think you want to be. Okay? So, yun ang ginawa ko. He didn't even know. I bought his books and then I followed it. Out of kwan lang, yung desperation. I want to be, I want to have a lot of security, financial security. Okay? Ang alam ko lang at that time, I can't do stocks. I don't know how to do stocks. I don't know how to, ang other ways, yung stocks at that time is good. I have a kumpare na he was good in it. Ini-invest niya yung pera niya. And he's got, I don't know how many millions he's got, but kwan ni Robin yun eh. Inanak ni Ninong ni Robin. I'm sorry, Ninong ni Rachel. But so whatever you want to do, you have to have a mentor na ipa-follow mo. Kung makausap mo, mas maganda. If not, if he wrote a book, get into that. Paano niya ginawa? Okay? So that's important. Kung gusto mo mag-successful, you have to follow somebody. Kahit ilang percent lang ang makuha mo. If he did it 200%, kahit siguro 90% lang ang makuha mo out of yung ginawa niya, that's a good success. Okay? Make friends with people that will have a positive effect on you. Okay? That's very important. In other words, hindi naman bumarkada, but later on in life, you will encounter some people, right? Kahit saan ka pa pumunta, let's say, kung nagtrabaho ka or nagmilitary ka, you will meet people doon sa department mo. So, some of them will be your friends. You'll be invited in their houses. Take those, okay? Or makisama ka sa mga kaibigan na naging kaibigan mo na magbibigay sa'yo ng positive input in your life. Avoid the friends or people that are negative in their life. May mga yung all that comes out of their mouth is negative. Walang kwenta yan. Hindi mangyayari yan. Yung mga sinasabi nila, everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. Okay? Pero kung itong kaibigan mo to, itong taong ito, he gives you good advice, right? Those are the friends that you want to be with. Yung ine-encourage ka. They try to do the right thing. Doon, yun ang mga pagsamahan mo. Yun ang mga those are the people that you want to be friend with. Okay? And then just keep charging. Meaning, huwag ka susuko. Palaging, as you move on in life, right? Palaging magkakamali ka. It's just part of growing up. Everybody makes mistakes, but don't dwell on it. Pag nagkamali ka, just consider that as a lesson learned. You move on. Don't think too much about that. So, halimbawa, sabihin nating nagtatrabaho ka, right? But may rules kayo, mayroon kayong certain rules na nakaset up for that organization, at nagawa mo yung hindi tama. Don't do that again, kasi baka ma-counsel ka, right? You will be called upon by the manager. Sasabihin dapat hindi mo ginawa yun mali, right? So just try to do the good things. Follow the rules. Don't get in trouble. Kasi, and samahan mo ng konting faith. Meaning, konting dasal. That helps too. That helps a lot, actually. Okay? So, stick to good people. Ask for advice sa mga successful people that could probably help you for what you want to do. And then, siyempre, support your family. Yung pamilya mo are the number one in your life. God, family, and then other people. So, yun ang advice ko sa iyo, as you're now are going to school, later on matatapos ka. What's your next step? You know, it could be going to the military, because I know you're going in there, but that's a good step. Yep. Tuturuan ka ng gusto. And then, yung tinuro sa'yo, you can use it when you get out. Okay? And there are times na maybe it's not the right training for you. You can always change. Importante kasi na stable yung trabaho mo to be able to support your family. Ikaw, magkakapamilya ka, whether you like it or not, unless you chose not to. Ano? Mag-aasawa ka, magkakaroon ka ng pamilya, ng anak, then, of course, you want them to be as successful as you are. So, gagamitin mo yung sarili mo as an example to your family, yung magiging pamilya mo. Di ba? And it goes on. Okay, ano pa?